Hello and welcome back to another reaction video. I'm super excited. Today we're going to be breaking down the League of Legends trailer, the I'm Still Here trailer. I haven't seen this yet. I have a lot of friends that are into League of Legends. I'm not, but a lot of them sent me this video saying that I should check this one out. They said it's really inspiring. I'm very excited. In the past, I've seen a handful of the League trailers, and the animation is super top notch and the storytelling is super top notch. So I'm excited to dive into this one and see if we get inspired for filmmaking ourselves, see if we want to go out and create something. And let's see if we can break down some of these shots and figure out the motivation behind the lighting and the movement and all that good stuff. So without any further ado, let's dive in. Let's have some fun. Here we go from the top.
Tomorrow is a hope.
I like the voiceover already. Ooh, okay. That's super slow motion. That framing, look at that. There's so much emotion right out of the gate. This is sick. Oh, the shot design, there's so much going on here. Oh, the energy. His sword is pulsing. The rack focusing. Oh. This is nuts. What? This whole sequence is unbelievable. You know I love the silhouetted shots here. Oof. Having the sound cut out like that? Oh, disgusting. These shots are crazy. Listen, I don't know what half the lore is on this, but like, this is sick. There it is. Oh man, the sound design, everything cutting out, coming back in a big way. This is such a payoff. Oh my gosh. There's literally so much going on. We're gonna spend 4 hours talking about this. Man. You're feeling every hit. Great reveal. Oh, the lighting changed. Let's go. Yeah, what the heck? Oh. Oh my goodness. Okay. 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 Wow. Okay. So I don't really know where to start. That's a lot. That's a lot. If we take it right from the beginning, so there's a couple of different story arcs that come in. And obviously, it starts here with this fighter in the snow, and we come back to the story at the end, which is an awesome way of bookmarking it right out of the gate. Man, they hit you with this opening shot that's just so iconic. Like, that's so cool. All the slow motion with everybody pushing in. This is really cool. From a filmmaking standpoint, this is an amazing shot, right? Because you have, there's a lot going on. It's a broad, wide shot, but your eye instantly goes to the main character and the guy you're supposed to see, right? And how are they achieving that? Well, one, he's in the center, which is smart. But two, even from a shot layout, it's very dark around the outer edges of this scene. And we have all these guys slowly walking in slow motion towards him. So right away, your eye instantly knows who the main character is. You instantly know who you're supposed to care for right out of the gate. He's the most well lit. Even the shadows from the trees you can see fall nicely on the right and left-hand side. They don't overlap him at all. So he's given this perfect framing, which is brilliant. Just shot design. This is so brilliant. And all this slow motion, same thing here. So now this is obviously, the camera's lower, but it's still the exact same principles apply here. Excuse me. You have framed by the characters on the left and the right, and they're also walking in, but it's really clever because now your eye really is drawn right to him and all the energy that's going through here. This is so cool. The super slow-mo reads really well. Man, the pain on his face, like you feel this. Like, you know that he's been fighting for his life for hours. Like, that's just the feeling you get right here. You know this. Based off of, obviously, like this wide shot too, looking at how there's trees that have been falling down, there's bodies everywhere. Like, this dude has literally been fighting for a long time for his life. How cool is this? I do love that effect when you get that effect from his point of view, right? You get the eyes blinking and going out of focus. Brilliant. This is cool. A nice big wide establishing shot. Here, the same thing. You have our main characters you're supposed to pay attention to. The best thing you can do in a wide shot, if you want your eye to know who to look at, is to just put them somewhere-ish in the center and also frame them. So you can see all the fires burning are on the outsides, but we don't have any fires with conflicting interests for our heroes here in the center. So it really is framing. You have this nice circle arch framing our two main characters right here in the middle, which is really cool. This is a really cool two shot, kind of revealing the next character as we pan up. Right here, man, the shot designs are just so gorgeous in all of this. You know exactly where you're supposed to be looking all the time. You're never lost. In this entire trailer, you're never lost about what you should be looking at. I love that this scene is super dark, and obviously they fly up past the clouds, and now you have this really visceral fight scene, but in the bright daylight. I think so often fights are filmed in the dark because it feels more visceral and violent. I love when someone's not afraid to film a fight scene in the bright sunlight. Like, this looks gorgeous because you have two angelic creatures fighting a demon creature, but it's in a very pretty, beautiful spot. This looks like almost like How to Train Your Dragon. Like, Toothless should be doing his first flight with Hiccup out here, but instead it's literally a massive battle taking place. All of these shots, this is so cool. If you notice the momentum, right? The momentum of these characters flying up and then down and around, which leads right into the clash of steel. Man, you're feeling the energy of this. I'm gonna play it again. It's so cool because it's just the visuals of this. You see all that speed, bam. And they're doing a good job of ramping the slow motion into the fast motion over and over again. So you kind of get those big and then slow and then fast. And like, it's carrying the energy of this. And it's tough because there's three characters. So how do you pace it out so that three characters feel like they're all fighting at the same time and they're not just standing back waiting their turn to fight? But this is a good job with them flying in one at a time, trying to take swings. This is a lot. This is a lot from a framing and choreography standpoint. But you're never lost about what's happening. getting grabbed by the throat and just thrown down. This shot is so fast and it happens so quickly. It only takes like a second to get through, but you notice exactly what happens. Bam, right into the chest neck area, grabs her, whips around. You get that brief second shot of the villain's face right here. And it just pauses for a brief second in slow-mo before whipping her down. Oh, that's so tasty. All these like little details. Look at all these little details breaking apart like the little corner here on the stone and then breaking into the wall. Like there's just a lot of texture going on here. Really sells that. I love this super shallow depth of field right here because this is telling you so much about the scene. Because right here, this is another good look at this battle scene area where you see all these bodies and spears and broken swords up front, all there, and it's telegraphing so much information. You're like, there was a long fight that happened here. There was a long battle that happened here. That's cool. There's so much information here. I love storytelling like this where you're learning more about what happened previously in real time, but you're not just like showing just generic B-roll of it. You're not like, oh, here's a shot of a soldier dead on the ground. It's like, no, you naturally start to feel that even like just in the background, out of focus, your brain is still picking up on that information. Such a big, you feel the drop. Boom. The way the camera shakes. It's cool. You see a little bit of pulsing, like his weapon is actually alive. Very cool. And now you have this incredible, I'm obsessed with silhouette shots, and this does not disappoint. Oh my gosh, you have the sun breaking through the clouds on the right-hand side here, which is illuminating through his like very fleshy, thin membrane wings. So you can see all the veins through it, which is so cool. Because if the light was coming up front, you wouldn't see that. It would just be, you would see some of the veins, but we wouldn't have the color. This being backlit just makes this pop so strong. It is just an imposing, shadowy silhouette right here. I mean, this is, you're facing the end of your life. If this is something you're seeing on the battlefield and seeing all these hordes behind him, similar thing. You see no detail. You just see spikes of helmets and of some weapons in the background. But it's so cool because that's the power of a strong silhouette, is that you're conveying the emotion and the motion of a scene without having to go like in detail, hey, make sure you look at this. It's just in general, your brain is soaking this in, saying, oh no, this is the end. Love a good final stand. This is cool. The slow motion, once again, leaving the villain out of focus and just focus on the hero. There's all that separation because of the backlight. Like your brain is easily knows what's going on here. You can see all the hordes of bad guys here at the bottom starting to fill the screen, charging in. We're releasing some big magic, some magic chains. This is so fire. Yeah, look at this. Look how tasty this is. You got this focus and shot grabbing the sword, but all the action is out of focus in the back. This look, I remember this look watching it the first time, is so well executed. So we'll watch it here again. It's got that subtle eye, just that slight turn like, hey, I got this from here. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Slowly lifting off the ground here, going actual power mode here. This is so cool. It's so well lit, right? Because she's almost her own little version of a silhouette, but it's a light that she's emitting is now projecting on the ground. And so you're getting the ground that was dark. So you have the shots completely dark. And then as she gleams up, all of this becomes yellow. That's really cool. So you're feeling the power, not just from her eyes glowing, not just from her wings starting to glow, but the ground itself is emanating this glow, which just like helps it sell. Because here, if you go back a couple of frames, here it's like, oh, it's cool, she's flying. And then as you go frame by frame, that light emits. And now you're like, okay, this is a powerful, powerful fighter. That's so sick. Look at these fire effects coming in. I'm not even going to mention the silhouette here, right? I'm going to tap out on the silhouette shot, but you know we're loving this. Look at these fire effects just coming in almost in like they're coming in like almost like a bird coming in. It's a really cool effect. Yeah, it has like it's like following her wings. I'm realizing it's following the wings effect. That's cool. It's coming in like an X, like a phoenix. That's so cool. And then we transition to this next scene. See, this is cool, showing it from the point of view of the person here on the ground. You all of a sudden cut away to the camera being lower, aiming up, and you're feeling that intimidation because you're seeing it from their POV. I love all the floating embers in the back. If you notice, like anytime you can add texture to a scene, something like embers floating or dust falling down, it just builds up the scene. It just instantly makes it feel more cinematic, just having all these embers fly. Also, this shot, I'll show after this, here, you can notice there's all the heat distortion, which kind of looks blurry, but you notice it's not blurry over the whole image. It's coming up in small portions all over. And that's the heat distortion that a natural lens would pick up on, similar to if you're filming a real fire, or if you've been filming out on a hot day, like off the sidewalk, you get that heat distortion. So you add it in digitally to really like help sell the fact that this is a very hot scene. So in this, the camera's back, it's framing through this like burning building, once again, creating like this really cool frame that's like darkened on the edges, which is really drawing your eye to our main hero. But then, yeah, it's really cool. You've got the embers flying, and then you also have these heat distortion popping through this whole scene here. And then just the choreography of this fighting is just so incredibly detailed. And it's so cool. You know exactly what's happening. There's not just some random montage of fights and swings. It's very telegraphed. This to this to this. You're feeling the emotion every time. Look at that. I would almost guarantee that this is a still frame that was painted by a concept artist when they were first pitching and workshopping what this trailer would look like. I can almost guarantee that this shot or the previous shot with him standing up, squaring off against these two, this shot were still frames that were painted by a concept artist that were like, this is how we want this to feel. Because it's that iconic. This just sells right away what you want the scene to feel like. It's really cool. And the speed ramping, like this is a thing. If you want to sell impact from a filmmaking standpoint, like having that slow kick, having them slowly fall away and then speed ramp right into a really quick slam down, like you are just feeling it as a viewer. Look at how much you feel this. Boom, back into real time. You have to be really tasteful with slow motion. It's hard to do slow motion in a really good way. Some directors overuse it, but in a situation like this, it works. Cutting it into pieces, which is really cool because this mirrors the exact shot. I'm now realizing at the end where you have these two arrows slinging by him. I don't know if there's any correlation between the characters, but this is absolutely a mirrored shot. That's very cool. I'm just now realizing that, but that's really, really cool. It's a mirrored shot. They're both looking different ways. One's in fire, one's in snow. Oh, that's so tasty. That's so tasty. Someone will have to explain like the lore to me, like if there is any correlation or if it really is just a cool shot for the sake of a cool shot. All these effects. Oh man, that's so cool. Like all the stuff picking up off the ground, just so cool. You can see him rushing in where he was just doing the effects here. It looks like it's hovering. It's kind of staying behind, like he's raising up all this energy and he's running out of it. Oh, this is so cool. I love the effects on the sword. You're getting these really cool like wind effects on the sword blade. Every time it goes, you're seeing a lot of movement. Yeah, all this like wind effect like cutting through is really cool. It's showing a lot of the power of his swings and the magical ability of what he's doing here. Look how slow. They dropped this thing to 1,000 frames a second to sell this shot. Boom! How neat is that? And now we're back to here. What's interesting, very interesting that he's laying here in the snow. I don't understand fully the timeline of everything because clearly he was here with other guys around, and by the time we come back here, there's nobody around. So I don't know. I don't know what the timeline is for all of this, but it's pretty cool. That rack focus is very beautiful because you're noticing that snowflake fall down. It's always cool when you can find something to gravitate towards and lock into from the camera's perspective. So in this perspective, you're following a singular snowflake falling down, and you're following like a little bit of a journey of this one snowflake, which is ushering you into this next scene, falling down, revealing our guy lands on the ground, spreads out kind of magically, and then you rack focus to him. Love that. Love it whenever you can be guided into a scene by something else. It could be like a bird flying in or an animal walking in, something to usher in the scene, and then you kind of gravitate towards your hero. All the music cut out, and then this thing jumping out at him. Oh, disgusting. Look at the lighting. The lighting is so good because you have a dark scene, but because you have this blue magic, whenever it's interacting, the blue magic arrows, whenever it's like going by him, or in this case, he's hitting him with his sword, it's lighting up the scene. His armor, his eyes even, like all have this like really sharp blue accents, which makes him pop right from the background, which just looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, here you can see the eyes from the creature. Look how cool this is. Lighting up like lightning really helps selling all of this. Incredible. You're never lost. I love this. You're never lost about who's fighting whom, how the action is unfolding is very clear. The red eyes, look at all this momentum. This is cool because they have offset the weight of this frame. We have him slightly over to the right, not even in the center, and we have her off to the right. And so all that movement is, you could just feel the weight of this entire scene leaning towards the right. So it's pulling you to the right in a really, really strong fashion. This is a really good shot design because you're feeling that weight. Everything's drawing to the right. He's pulling over to try to get to her. Shatters the bow, gets a new bow. Yeah, this is another good example. Let's see if we can pause it just right. Yeah, here we go. So you can see when this arrow impacts, all this gorgeous blue lighting that is now reflected all over his armor. Just makes him pop. It's really cool having the glowing red eyes too, which is a strong contrast to the green and blue everywhere else around here. Like the color palette to this is so pleasing to look at. I'm going to be honest, this is like overwhelmingly cool. This whole fight, there's so much going on here that would be daunting to try to film practically. I'm sure it was daunting even from just an animation standpoint, but I'm thinking like, holy cow, if you had to get real actors, real costumes and choreograph this and have people flying around the way they're doing, absolutely daunting. This is so cool though. And here we have that paralleled shot. Look at it, that's so cool. The arrows are lighting his face. They're emitting blue light. You can see this. His face is dark, and as they come over, you have that blue light emitting as it transfers over. His hair is picking up those highlights. It's really highlighting the scars, the dirt all over him. Bam! Now you see it's hit two guys behind him, and he's even surprised. Got a friend running out of the shadows. That's a really cool reveal. Anytime there's a reveal that needs to happen quickly, I'm such a fan of doing it in the center. Your eyes are just always, every time it's a new frame, I feel like your eyes are always just going to the center. So if you want to like telegraph what's happening really quickly in an efficient way, bam, just make it center. Also, really cool, his face is in the center. So we're already seeing him reacting to his eyes, reacting to his face. Even though there is action, yes, happening in the background, all our main focus, 90% of our focus is on his face. So when we do that jump cut, we are already looking right where we need to be looking. The eye color change. This is cool, having her come out of the shadows, and now we have light starting to kick in. If you'll notice, it was very dark. All these scenes were very dark, and once the friend comes in, all the light starts to come in. It's really clever. It's really subtle. You might not notice it totally unless you're place like this, kind of breaking it down. But you're like, oh, that's a really subtle way to show like that hope is here, because now we have the sun starting to break through the clouds, break through the trees, and creating a very bright and light image. Look at, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, yeah. Look at how disgusting this particular shot is. This is so heroic. Yeah, we gotta go back. Look at this. You got our two heroes essentially back to back, right? Like squaring off, getting ready for their final fight. You got the sun kicking in from the right, bringing in hope. You have the bodies here laying all around, even some broken trees. You just know that they have been through it. I love you can still see the little blue arrow. There's so much story here. There's so much story here in just like one frame. And then, of course, you have this final shot where you see even more guys starting to walk in on the edges. You know the fight is not over, but there is hope because now, hey, there's two of them, and she's setting up a distress beacon, it looks like. So, wow. This is borderline overwhelming for how much cool stuff is in this entire trailer. Hands down, feeling completely inspired. Like there's no debate. This is peak. This is 10 out of 10. This is why we watch this stuff. It's because you see it and you want to go out and you want to film something. You want to grab your friends. You want to go out and shoot a short film or a music video that has this kind of energy. Every shot made sense. There was beautiful art direction and like color design on everything. Like just look at all the golds and the yellows, depending on the scene. The fire was so iconic and felt so good. Each one of these feels like a still that you could pull from a really high-end movie. Like I mean, imagine this, like this, any one of these just is so iconic. You can almost make a wallpaper for your computer, for your phone off of any single still. I'm just randomly clicking around and everything I'm clicking on is just borderline gorgeous shots, you know, iconic shots that you're going to remember. Yeah, this is a masterclass in filmmaking, because that's what this is. This isn't just a video game. Like this is filmmakers making a really cool cinematic, a really cool trailer. And yeah, you don't see movies that look like this. And I imagine it's because the production value is through the roof and it is so much to try to organize and figure out. I mean, here you have a whole city on fire while you have smoke effects and now you have this magic wind effects. This is so much to tackle. But for this, it looks amazing. And honestly, my biggest takeaway is that I literally want to go grab my camera off this tripod and get out and start shooting stuff like this. So I'll take that as a win. This was amazing. I would love to hear more details in the comments about the lore of this. If there's something that I'm not understanding or that I got wrong, let me know. I don't know League of Legends, so it would be really cool to learn more. Or if there's other trailers within this series that I should check out, please let me know. Until then, I'm going to let you go. But yeah, if you want to see more, click subscribe. I would love to hear from you. Until then, I'll see you around.